And we are live with episode 1 of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the third. The game's not open yet because apparently it has a fancy animation type thing in the beginning. So we're going to go through that first. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Come on. There we go. Right on time. That brief hesitation was all it took to spawn a great evil. It crawled through the fields, ran through the hills, and spread disaster in the skies above. Book of Ezer, verse 2, Disaster Unleashed. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the third. Okay, let's get the walkthrough up. Ah! Let's get the walkthrough up. Okay, we can remove the guide for the walkthrough for Sky SC. Let's open up the third. All right. Of course, we're gonna go easy mode, cause shit. We always do. Oh, I never changed it on OBS. Not OBS, Twitch. I forgot to change it in OBS. Well, on Twitch, I should say. I just do it through Twitch. Trails in the Sky. The third. Done. I haven't started the game yet, so technically I can't be hit for it. Anyway. Trail in the Sky SC save data found. Low data. Of course. Year 1203 of the Septian calendar fall, just over half a year since the Libero Ark's collapse. Cruising through the night sky above the Kroitzen province in eastern Erebonia. Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. Was the Reinford Company's latest display the luxury, the Lusitania. Why am I in Erebonia? This isn't cold steel. The Legend of Heroes. Trails in the Sky, the third. I'm gonna have to completely revamp all the Stream Deck buttons now. I hate my life. If I may have your attention, please. On behalf of the Conrad Company, I would like to take the time to thank you all for attending this party today. As I'm sure you're all aware, this is the most auspicious day. Yes, indeed. On this historic day 10 years ago, this fine company... What's Kevin? You don't seem to be enjoying this quite as much as he is. You ought to at least try and feign interest in what he's saying, hmm? Surely you must understand what kind of man he is if you're here. Oh, that I do. He's a merchant of death who made a fortune during the 100 Days War, and one of the Empire's most wealthy men, despite being a relative newcomer. Well, it was only a few years ago that he partnered up with the famous Reinford Group, and now he's serving on their board of directors. His record makes for a most impressive read, that much is for certain. Although I dare say he's less impressive in person compared to on paper. My, you'd best refrain from making such remarks. That mask of yours may disguise your identity, but it won't keep those naughty men in black away should you make an enemy of them. Now, that's a terrifying prospect. I can't imagine I'd last very long if I did. I'd surely be cast through this window as easily as a pebble plunges through water. I must say, I find you rather intriguing. Are you a member of the press, perhaps? Or maybe even a government official? I would answer, but where's the fun in spilling secrets? I'll leave the pondering to your fertile imagination, mademoiselle. Leaving my identity aside, however, this ship is an impressive work of art. It's hard to believe we're inside one at all. And yet, here we are, thousands of arch in the air. Well, it is Reinford's latest model. One would expect nothing less than art. Last I heard, they were advertising it as the largest airship in the world. It is 120 arch across, so they're probably right, as far as most of the world knows. You certainly know how to make a lady curious. But even with the mask, it's no secret that you're so young, practically still a boy. I wonder how often do you go around charming your way through these drab parties with that aura of mystique? Well, seems the mask can't hide all my secrets. Perhaps I ought to make my daring escape before I give away anything more about myself. You must, although it would be my pleasure to continue keeping you company. It's not every day that one gets to enjoy chatting the night away with a mysterious stranger like this, you know. I'm curious who this is now. We could even take our chat somewhere more comfortable, like your room. I'd be honored to, fair lady, but only if you can promise the goddess has her eyes turned away. She may blush if she's watching. Oh god. Meanwhile, I'm afraid for asking why your room would not be an acceptable location. And I'll thank you for not forcing me to bring up that oaf of a man. Well, the party's in full swing now. This chance is as good as any. It's private rooms on the highest floor of the ship and on the other side of the deck. Okay, let's get to work. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way! Strange. Felt like someone was watching me for a minute. Ah, forget it. I've got work to do. Spy room's on the highest floor of the ship, on the other side of the deck. Time to move. Alright, we know where we're at now. Interesting. Anyway. The treasure chest revealed itself to be a crafty mimic and licks your unsuspecting hand. Better break out this inspect. Apparently we can get access to the full Carnelia set. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Carnelia like Rose's story or some shit like that? Or is that another book? I'm obviously not like physically gonna read it. 5. 6. 7. 8. You guys can read it if you pause the video and are watching it on YouTube or through a VOD. Uh, 9. 10. Boom. And last but certainly not least, the finale. No achievement for it, which makes sense. The message. Remember, there is but one truth. Love is eternal. Olivier? We need to talk. No. Pine fresh. Oh! I don't know what it is about the movement, but the movement in this game is really jank. I just noticed the sheer jankiness of the movement. It's like speed up, but not. That's actually kind of gross. Stop right there. The staircase leads to Sir Conrad's private room. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I figured you'd say something like that. Sorry though, this is gonna be your lucky day. Ah. What? What are you doing? Ah. Looks like I'm dealing with a bunch of Jaeger dropouts. They don't seem that well trained either. This will be cake. Sure wish every job I had was this easy. Oh, you mean you didn't like going after Weissman? More and more, it's just looking like it's Kevin. Wow, talk about pointlessly fancy. All right, now where's he hitting it? Oh, there's a switch of some sort underneath the vase. Press the switch. Yes. Well, would you look at that? Who wants to bet that's not the only one? Now, where's the next one? Not the alcohol. Interesting. It says vase here, but now confused because I can't find a vase. Uh... Sure. I thought that's the last one. It wasn't a vase, it was a plant. Fuck's sake. Here we go. Everything so far has been completely in line with what I expected, which means that... There's a panel with buttons that have letters written on them. A password of some kind apparently must be entered. I wonder. Orpheus! Again. I figured as much. Looks like my target this time is one of the toys our friends decided to spread around for fun. Just right in the center of the room. The fool's locket, huh? A forbidden artifact that lets the bearer pass all but the most obvious lies off as complete truth. Sorry, really not the kind of thing a shady weapons dealer should have in his possession. Heh. What's going on here? What happened to the two who were on guard here? They were both fast asleep. Seemed like whoever did it used a dart or spray of some kind. You think we're dealing with someone in the same business as us? We'd better keep him locked inside here until the party's over. We can give our report to Master Conrad after. What do you think the odds are that he's not acting alone? Judging by the security camera footage, I don't think it's that high. That said, there's a definite chance he's got some form of backup that just hasn't acted yet. I'd say we're better off marking all of our guests for the time being. We wouldn't want to let anyone slip through our sights. Ha. Did you just laugh at us? Something funny? Oh no, I just thought I should probably apologize for underestimating you. I'd written you all off as untrained Jaeger dropouts, but maybe you've got more going for you than I was giving you credit for. You've got guts, I'll give you that. I've got no idea how you came to be here, but you should know that Master Conrad is not a merciful man. Don't think you're going to get out of this in one piece. You're in for such a world of pain, you'll wish you killed yourself while you had this chance. Well, doesn't that sound like a fun time? Sad for you, I've already got my next date lined up, so I won't be able to take you up on that. What the? How? Oh yeah, I probably should have said this earlier. You really might want to step back from that door, like a lot. Might want to step back! What has happened? No way. The door was designed with a direct hit from a normal cannon. Both you guys have no idea how hard it is to hold back with that one. I'm not a huge fan of using it, but I mean, you didn't give me much choice. This is a joke, right? A priest? Yep, I'm legit and everything too. So if you're interested in making any confessions, I'd be happy to listen to them. For extra cheap as a limited time offer. And you guys would have a lot to confess. Don't lend an ear to him, let's do this. Oh, I was hoping for more of a what? You charge people kind of reaction. Oh well, I guess I don't mind cutting to the chase this time. Come get some. Dude, it looks so different! Ah, I don't like this. Oh! Okay. I mean, don't mind if I do. Wait, really? They only had like 2k HP?
Still a ways to go.
He's a Grail Knight. I'd heard rumors about them, but damn. And curious as I am, I'm probably better off not asking about what kind of rumors you've heard. Don't worry though, I'm only here for your client. So you go ahead and have a nice long nap on the floor, okay? You'll still live to see tomorrow. What kind of monster? Okay, I've got what I came for. Now to get back to the party and wrap this job up. Sucks I have to go without talking to that, taking that lady up on her offer though. She was looking pretty darn fine, and it was obvious her husband wasn't giving her enough squeeze. Kevin! Bad! Then again, I shouldn't go playing with fire too much, huh? Wow. They literally have like a no health. I will say I'm not used to the new look. And it's gonna take me a minute to get used to it.
Still a ways to go.
Oh! Are we finally getting a challenge?
Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. All right, what's next?
Oh? I mean, it's all separate for Estelle and Joshua, so.
All right, what's next?
Man, these guys are scrubs. Oops, get it together, Kevin.
Still a ways to go.
Come on! There you are. On the name of the Northern Jaegers, we won't let you go any farther. So you really are an active Jaeger Corps, and a pretty famous one to boot. Still, I get stuff's rough going for your country and all, but I couldn't ask you to just, I don't know, step aside. How dare you? What do you know about the hardships endured by our people? We won't allow ourselves to be shamed with defeat here, not as long as we suffered. Bah, should have known. Okay then, I'll come at you with all I've got.
Let's end this.
Oh, so that's what he used!
Still a ways to go.
What is all this commotion? We believe there to be an intruder, sir. At a Compton, one of that. Intruder, and just what do you think I paid Goodmere to hire you for? I don't care if he's alive or full of holes, get rid of him. Oh, getting me dead or alive is too much to ask of those guys. Who the hell are you? Wait, a priest? No. Yeah, I figured with something like this in your possession, you'd at least have heard of us. How dare you? Give that back, that's mine. Uh-oh, wrong answer. This belongs to the goddess, and it needs to be rightfully returned to her. It's not something mere mortals like you should be keeping for themselves. Kill him. Kill him and get me back my locket now. Gah. Herman Conrad, in accordance with the laws of the church and in the name of Adios, I am placing you under arrest. You stand charged with the unauthorized possession of and illegal use of an artifact. Don't you think you can get away with this? You might be with the church, but I'm a Reinford director. If you lay hound on me. Oh, don't you worry. We cleared this with the big guys already. I'm sure you've got a pretty good idea of just how recklessly you've been acting with this thing, right? You've been causing a whole lot of trouble for a whole lot of people, you know. Guys like you have a habit of making themselves no shortage of enemies, and you've done a stellar job of that. So just accept that your luck's run out and come quietly, okay? No. No! Yeah. You just couldn't make this easy for me, could you? So much for this being a piece of cake. Catching guys like this alive is more like trying to sneak off with the whole damn thing. Stop right there. Oh, you pulled out all the stops just for little old me. Now I get why you guys are so popular. That's some quick work getting all dolled up and ready to take me down. Silence! You might have had your way before, but that's not how it's gonna go this time. Just so you know, there's an entire company of us on this ship. Even if you have a hostage you can use against us, you've got nowhere to run. Heh. We're all lucky boys and girls today, huh? What? What are you talking about? If this idiot here had been branded a heretic, I would have had to hunt each and every one of you down to the last member. What? What's up with this guy? Well, don't let it get to you. Keep up the good work for your homeland or whatever. Just don't go giving us any reason to slaughter you in the process. Impossible. Those Gralsritter are monsters. Ha, that was quite a splendid show. But our tale is only just beginning, Kevin Graham. Who are you? They're a faceless individual, but I don't think it's Weissman since he's dead. After all, I've only just awoken. So who's the Anguis now that we're dealing with? Interesting. Interesting. Merkaba number 5. Congratulations on completing your operation, sir. My thoughts exactly. That seemed to be a rather easy one for you in the end, too. Compared to what they're usually like it was. If I'd had a bit more time, I could have enjoyed some private time with a real gem of a woman, too. But I'll have to self-cry myself to sleep tonight. Not this again. Unless you want another earful from the commander, you might want to start taking your work more seriously. I know. Lighten up a little, yeah? I swear I'll never get how you hard-headed types ended up assigned to a slacker like me. This may come as a shock, but you are a Dominion, you know. We can't very well have you acting alone without any form of backup. As long as you're here and this ship is under your command, then slacker or not, we're here too. Even then, you've got a lot less squires in your service than you should have. Maybe you should take this chance to gather up a few more. I think I'm gonna have to pass. That'll just make it even harder for me to work on my own. So I thought you'd say that. We prefer it if you actually trust us to help you a little more, sir. I mean, all we could do in that salt pail operation was transport the thing. You say that as if transporting it isn't a huge responsibility in itself. After all, the last thing we wanted was him catching wind of it and becoming wary of us. Is something wrong? Oh, not a thing. Anyway, as per the original plan, we need to get ourselves back to Arteria ASAP. We should be able to reach there by noon tomorrow or today now, I guess. Got it. Where's it from? Arteria, apparently. It's a call from Commander Selnet. Oh, you are kidding me. Getting a call from her right after a mission is always a bad sign. Let's get this over with. Put her through. All right. I half expected him to be like, no one's home. Don't answer. Evening, Kevin. It sounds like you did well. Fill me in on the details. It basically went without issue. The artifact was the Fool's Locket. There were signs of society involvement, but it looks like they've cut any ties with him a long time ago. I see. As I thought then. Good work all around. I'd say you deserve a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I can't grant you one right away. And here we go. Poor Kevin. Is something the matter? Oh, I'm just dandy. Please continue. Well then, as much as I hate to spring this on you immediately after finishing one mission, I've got something I'd like you to do for me. Regarding a heretic, I assume. Not this time. All I want you to do is pick something up. The object in question is currently being held underneath Grunzel Cathedral. Grunzel? Do you think this object may be somehow related to the Oriole? It's a distinct possibility. Wait, we're going to Grunzel? Can I count on you to handle this? Alright. That said, we've already got one artifact on this ship that needs transporting back, so I'll let the crew here take that to Arteria. I'll handle going to Liberal on my own. That's fine with me. Oh, incidentally, you won't actually be alone. I've dispatched a rookie squire to aid you. They'll be serving you from now on, so do play nice, won't you? Wait a minute! Wait just 1 minute! You can't just spring a rookie on me out of nowhere like this. Meetings ordained by the goddess always come suddenly and unannounced. Ah! Don't worry though, they won't be a burden. The abilities they demonstrated during training were truly something special. Well, I'll be praying for your success. Kevin's like, no! Not another one! Gop. Not like that. Well, congratulations on the new recruit. We were only just saying you could do with more squires serving you. Ah! The smugness. And I was so not down. I can't believe this. Sorry, she never changes, I swear. Oh, if all the people reading that book had any idea what a hellion she is in real life. Oh, Carnelia? I've always wondered whether publishing it was really such a good idea, to be honest. It's complete advertisement saying we exist to the world. If anything, I'd say a book that wild just serves to make people less likely to believe we really exist. And then the heroine died in it, which obviously is a big fat lie. If it actually met her, they'd know she's the kind of woman who could probably take a bullet to the head and ask for a cigarette first thing. Fuck's sake! I think we should probably refrain from commenting here. Anyway, you guys heard her. I'm gonna leave taking care of everything else relating to our mission to you guys. Just follow the money trail. There might still be hidden accounts we don't know about. Understood, sir. What will we be doing from here? We'll need to return to Arteria, obviously, but we can drop you off somewhere. You can put me down in any old state we pass on the way there. Preferably near a town that has international flights going out of it, I guess. Got it. Oh, it looks like the sun's starting to come up. No! Prologue, the Grolsritter. We're still in the prologue. Same day after, dude. Oh god, this just sucks. In the skies of Midwestern Zemuria, roughly 500 salvage from the barrel. See? No, it's just a bunch of normal birds. International airliner Gretna. And Dorothy taking a bunch of pictures. Whoop! Dorothy's fine. Oh, they've gone out of sight now. I wonder if they're busy migrating. It looks like they can't keep up with this ship, though. Guess not every bird can be as fast as Sieg. But they were just the cutest. Well, look who it is. Kevin? I know you. It really is you. Long time no see, Dorothy. I sure wasn't expecting to run into you here. Funny coincidence, huh? It really is. It's good to see you again, too. Father? You don't remember my name, do you? Don't be silly, of course I do. It's Oh, remember, it's Onion For fuck's sake, Dorothy! But of course, how lucky I am to have been named after such a multi-purpose plant. That's not even a name, Dorothy. You really did forget, didn't you? And yet you somehow managed to remember my last name like it was nothing. I was just being silly. A couple days ago, I had this amazing onion hot pot over in the eastern corridor in Calvert, so I still got onions on the brain. I couldn't believe a hot pot with just onions in it could taste that good, but I swear it did. It was so comforting and sweet. So that's how I ended up saying onion instead of your name. Sorry, well, whatever. So if you insist you haven't forgotten, what is my name then? I do insist. I never forget. She has to be trolling. It's lovely to see you, Jasmine Graham. But of course, I'll get to have been named after such a freak. Fuck's sake, she's definitely trolling him. That might be an actual name this time, but it's a woman's name. Fuck's sake. Oh, I see. So you're here to carry out a follow-up investigation on all that trouble that happened earlier in the year. That's about the gist, yeah. Come think of it, how'd you end up on an international liner like this? You said you were in the Eastern Corridor, right? We're there to write about it for the Liberal News. Yep. Now I'll actually let me go on my own this time too. Wow, that was daring of him. I'm not sure I'd want to let you handle traveling abroad for a report alone. Then again, it's only by taking on positions of responsibility that people can properly grow. Oh, I'm doing plenty of that. I mean, I wasn't sure what I'd do when I ended up in Calvert instead of Bowes Market, but I managed just fine. Wait a second. Now I told you to go to Bowes, not Calvert. You sure did, but then I got on the airship, fell asleep, and before I knew it, I was chilling out in Calvert's capital. Weird, huh? It sounds like you got on the wrong airship to me. Let my brain catch up. So you were in the Republic for literally days when you weren't even supposed to be there at all. Did you even have enough money to manage, or ADS help us, a passport? Well, fortunately, there was someone from the Liberian embassy at the airport who could issue me a temporary passport, so that was okay. And then tons of people were really nice to me while I was there, so I had all the dough a girl could ask for. Sorry, I don't even know where to start. Now I must be worried sick about you, huh? You think? You didn't sound so hot when I called yesterday to say I'd be coming back to the office today. Keep telling him that all that smoking is bad for him, but he never listens. I don't think you can pin the crime on tobacco this time, Missy. Thank you all for taking this journey aboard the Gretna today. We'll be arriving at the terminal, Gronsel City, in roughly 30 minutes. We ask that you take this chance to check that you have all your belongings with you and to return to your seats before we begin our landing. Until then, please enjoy the remainder of your flight. Woo! Sounds like we're almost there. We're gonna have a walk around the ship to kill some of the last half hour. How about you? I'm not sure. I suppose I might as well go and snap some more photos. It's not often I get to take an international liner like this. Sounds like a plan. See you later then. Later. Defense 4. I don't even know if removing the quartz will help with anything. I hate the whole lines aspect. Just have all the sepith connected. Did you hear the announcement, sir? If not, we will soon be arriving in Gronsel City. So it might be wise to check you out all your belongings on your person while you still have the time to look for anything that is missing. Sister can be unbelievably stubborn sometimes. How am I supposed to enjoy sightseeing when she's being like this? No, I'm not budging on this. We're going to Airborough Villa after Gronsel Castle, and that is final. Can't believe you're actually considering just going around fishing of all things. We're not very good with heights. I mean, it's not a phobia level or anything. I'm just really not very good with them. At least it's not a phobia. Whew, that was one amazing business discussion. I never thought I'd see the day when Murano wouldn't have the upper hand in one, but it just happened. The world is full of surprises. That bargainer really knew how to put up a good fight for someone so young. Still, I've got an excellent information dealer working for me too. So next time we do business, it's going to be a 6-4 deal in my favor. No, scratch that. 7-3. Mommy, can I go have a look outside? Can I? No, you can't. Please sit down like a good girl. We're almost there now anyway, so just be quiet. I used to be a sailor back in the day, but now I always use airships to get around. They're way faster than boats, for one thing. And unlike orbital buses, you don't end up with a sore ass after a long journey either. Ugh, I don't even want to be here right now. Why do I even have to go out of my way to see him anyway? It's not fair. Oh boy. What do you want to know what I wanted to be as a child to begin with? That's not really something you normally tell complete strangers with cameras in their hands, you know. I'm on to you, mister. You can't distract me. This is a serious news report here, so please answer my questions. You sure is making good use of those reporters' privileges. Who knew he'd be so persistent? How can I get out of this? I can't tell her a tough guy like me used to want to be a pastry chef. We're approaching the Bacon Range. Careful potential air turbulences in this area. I know. I've been doing this route for 3 years now. I know what I'm doing, man. Heading west-northwest. Yahoo! Fly, my friend. Fly like the wind. Alright, the oil pressure looks perfectly normal. Oh, sorry, I'm going to ask you not to come down here, sir. But I'm oppressed. I'm oppressed. I do whatever I want. He's big boy pressed as well. Is this what I think it is? Nope. Don't go getting yourself too worked up now, man. You'll just end up screwing up even more, like usual. Anyway, first thing stopping by the Central Factory in Zeiss. There's no better place to learn about cutting-edge robot tech than there. I'm gonna really have to make the most of it, really. These half for these airships really do a splendid job, don't they? They're a fine role model for the rest of the service industry. I'm off to see my grandchild in Gronsel. We haven't seen one another in 3 years now. I've been really worried with all the trouble that's been happening in Libero. Yes, I'm fine almost in Libero. Why did I come, you ask? Because the last spot that ancient dragon was sighted. There's no information on where it went after it showed up here, so if I want to try and pursue it, it's the best place for me to come. As soon as we land, I need to go and talk to Lyndon to see if he knows anything. I'm fine, almost there. I could hardly wait to land. Come on, we're finally back home in Libero, which means it's time to start thinking of getting a house for ourselves. What kind of house would you like? Oh god, no. Two of us have spent the past half a year traveling all around the continent. I couldn't have wished for a better honeymoon. I'm so glad I chose him to spend my life with. I'm dying inside now. My wife went back to her family's home. I mean, I'm as aware as anyone that I've been so busy with work lately that I haven't been able to spend any time with her, but... So if I know it was going to come to this, I would have sat down and talked to her about it a long time ago. The idea feels amazing. I've missed somebody? Oh, this is a passenger announcement. We'll soon be arriving across the city, the terminus of this liner. It suggests that all passengers turn to their seats as soon as possible, as the airship may be unsteady during landing. Gransel. That's the Arcee, isn't it? Oh, it's so lovely to be back here again. The public was in a wonderful place too, but you can't beat the air here in Libero. You wouldn't believe all that stuff happened half a year ago looking at Gronsel now either. It's all completely back to normal. The people here sure are strong for what's usually such a peaceful country. Well, it's a country ruled by a queen. Everyone knows women are tough in the face of adversity. I'm not sure whether you're a perfect example of that or the opposite. You're right about the air here though. It is nice. Nostalgic almost. Makes me feel a little homesick. Your home's in Arteria, right? The place with all the really big churches and stuff? Nah, I'm not actually from Arteria. Not many people are. It's actually pretty darn small, like, smaller than most states around the continent. It's where the high seat of the Septian Church is, so lots of pilgrims and clergymen gather there, but few are actually born there. Oh, really, huh? So where are you from, then? Dorothy! Oh, that's Lyle. Oh, no. I'm home. Did you miss me? Did I miss you? Of course I missed you. What in Adios name have you been doing? I sent you to Bose. How did you end up in Calvert? You were definitely on the westbound liner. I'm sure of it. I really don't know. Oh, wait. I might actually know. Go on then, spit it out. I bet I'm a sleepwalker. After I got on the right airship, I fell asleep, then sleepwalked onto the wrong one. Think that all of this could turn out to be part of some elaborate murder plot. Wait, how does sleepwalk? I'm so confused. How does sleepwalking become a murder plot? Dorothy, please. Wow, all of a sudden I feel like I've walked right into a mystery novel. Sleepwalkers don't change airships, you idiot. I'm all out of breath now. Are you alright? I really think you should cut down on your smoking. You're not as young as you used to be, you know. Alright, your 30th birthday was last Friday too, wasn't it? Happy birthday! I bought a cake over in Calvert and had a big celebration for it too. How is it that you can remember useless crap like that and all the things that actually matter? Maybe you were just looking for an excuse to eat cake all by yourself, weren't you? You should have seen it now. It was made with Eastern matcha. So it was unlike any cake I'd ever seen. That perfect blend of sweetness and bitterness was just sublime. Oh, fuck's sake. I took lots and lots of cute pictures of it, so I'll show you them all later. You brought me pictures of a cake? At least bring back a souvenir. Man, they always felt like they could go into business as a common duo and actually make money off it. But they're even more of a crap up now. Wait a second. Nice to see you again, Niall. You're looking same old, though maybe you're not so happy about that. What are you doing here? Please tell me she didn't end up going to Arteria and causing trouble there too. Your wish is my command. We just ran into one another on that airship. By total coincidence, that's all. It's like, please tell me she wasn't in Arteria. It's like, your wish is my command. Yeah. Oh, good. You had me worried for a minute. I was scared stiff she'd gone and smashed some super expensive stained glass windows in the cathedral there, or who knows what. Oh, I'm so sorry for what you have to put up with. Yeah, honestly. Pshaw, you're too much of a worrywart. Whose fault do you think that is? Still, it's good to see you again, Father. What brings you to the barrel? Something else happen here? Oh, just a bit of work-related business I've got to take care of. It's not part of a major investigation, so don't go getting your hopes up. Nothing of interest is gonna happen. I'll be the judge of that. Anyway, so where are you staying for the time being? Gronsel Cathedral. I'll have to drop by and say hi at some time when I get the chance. Go for it. In the meantime, I'm dragging your butt right back to the office, Dorothy. You're going to tell us all about what the hell you've been doing these past weeks. You betcha. I snapped photos of every meal I had while I was over in Calvert, so I'm sure if we develop them, I'll be able to remember everything. Let's talk about your gourmet report. I'm feeling a bit ill after that. Jeez. Whew, seeing those two together really makes it sink in that I'm back here. Think about it, I wonder how all the others here are doing. I know Estelle and Joshua are abroad at the moment, but I've got no idea what the others are up to. Is that you, Father Graham? Lieutenant Colonel Sid! It's good to see you again. I'm pleased to see you've been keeping well since last we met at the banquet. The same to you, sir. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting to be the army representative who came to meet me, though. I figured it'd be Julia. It may have been, but she's currently out on another mission, so unfortunately you'll have to make do with me. I didn't have anything better to do, so I came in her place. There's no need to be so modest. A little bird told me that you're going to be promoted to full-on colonel soon, aren't you? I shouldn't be surprised that your people have such good information network, but I still am. Still, I'm afraid it's not... Feel the position is too much responsibility for me as I am. Brigadier General Bright still has plenty of work left in him, too. I wouldn't want to take any of it from him. Poor Cassius is still getting work to the bone, huh? Anyway, getting down to business. It's in Gronsel Cathedral, right? That's correct. It's being kept underneath it, to be more specific, although I imagine you're already aware of that much. I hear laymen like myself can't even enter it without the knight's permission. Pretty much. It's a special place, you see. I'll fill you in on the details when we get there. Alright then. Well, we may as well head there right away. There's someone I want you to meet in the cathedral. Huh? Who? Let's just say someone who's been assisting with this case. They'll be apprising you of the details on what you're dealing with here. So I guess our main party for this game will be Kevin, the Squire, if they stick around, Joshua and Estelle. Like we had Chloe and Tito last time. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was Chloe and Agate or something? Oh, there you are. It's good to see you again, Archbishop. You look very well. Huh? And you must be. I wasn't expecting you to be quite this young. How old are you? What? 22, but that's longer than I expected. Are the girls really so short-staffed that they're handing out their most important posts to kids? You can't blame me for assuming the 5th Dominion looked like more of a veteran, can you? Your surprise is written all over your face. Someone in your position should have a much better poker face than that. Maybe you need to redo your training from scratch? Or are you just acting, I wonder? How do you... Professor Russell, please. He isn't here for you to try and pick a fight with him. Please try and be a little less deliberately provocative. Hey! It's Tito's mom! Let's go! What? Hell no. He's here to steal the thing we went through so much effort to bring up, and you want me to play nice? Like, Kylie, don't call me that ever again. I don't want to be addressed in the same way as that old coot. Of course, ma'am. Wait, Russell. Then are you... I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Erica Russell. I'm sure it's not a name you're going to be forgetting anytime soon. It's Tito's mom! Still, I shouldn't expect to run into little Tita's mother here. I heard you and your husband were both living abroad. What brought you back? What do you think? After all that went down here, there was no way I was staying out of the country any longer than I had to. Though with how remote the region we were in is, it was all over by the time word reached us. Had we found out sooner, I sure wouldn't have let that maniac pull half the crap he did. Doesn't sound like you're too happy with the professor nowadays, huh? Don't talk about an understatement, sorry. That whack job actually took my little girl to that floating city with him. I get that he's soft towards her, but that's no excuse for exposing her to danger. That's fair. And as if that isn't bad enough, he let that red-headed scumbag get near her too. That utter cretin isn't fit to be within 50 yards of my darling Tina. Never mind actually getting friendly with her. Oh, jeez. Poor Agate. So, you don't like Agate, huh? Don't you speak that filthy name in front of me ever again. Oof, when I'm finished with him, he'll wish he'd never been born. He might have survived that last onslaught, but we'll see how he fares against an even more powerful unit, won't we? Wait. I get the feeling this is a matter we're better off not prying into. I thought the same, so I don't know any more about it than you do. I mean... Mood. Incidentally, the Professor Russell you're more familiar with is currently vacationing abroad. As such, she has been assisting us with this case in this place. Oh, I see. Are you two listening to me? Sorry, of course. Well, whatever. This staircase sure is long, though. How much farther do we have to go? Not much, as far as I know. Yep, there we go. Tita's mother is this. Meanwhile, Tita is... Tita. The difference is staggering and scary. A dead end. I hope you've got a good explanation for this. I do. This isn't a dead end, but to go any farther, I'm going to need you to undertake a ritual of sorts for me. Well, this certainly took a turn for the strange. Is this an example of the church's famous thaumaturgy? Something like that, yes. Specifically, I'd like you to undertake a form of suggestion. I'm not sure I follow. You want us to promise not to tell anyone what we see here, right? That's a little extreme, so no. The Colonel is obviously going to need to report what happened here to superiors, for one thing. All I want you to promise is that you won't tell anyone who you aren't certain you can trust. I don't need you to say it, I just need you to think and believe it. Weird, but alright. If that's all you want us to do, so be it. I feel the same way. Should we deliberately repeat it in our minds then? You don't even need to do that. It should just come completely naturally to you. Alright, here goes. In the name of she who dwells above, do I hold this consecrated septium. Space is golden glow, consciousness silver glow. By your opposing natures, reveal to them the path that leads to your sacrament. What? How did that door appear? Thank you both for your assistance. I can see that you were true to your word. Ah, I see. So if we just said it, but didn't really mean it, we wouldn't be able to see anything, right? And yet I can hardly believe what happened. I imagine it'd be uncouth of me to ask how all of this works. Yeah, I'd really rather you didn't. It's like, yeah, don't ask. It's interesting that that... Anyway, come on in. Primal ground. Wow. Unbelievable. All these years, I had no idea that such a place lay hidden beneath Gronsel Cathedral. Well, it's not exactly something we publicize. It was built in accordance with the agreements between the church and royal family. It has but one purpose: to suppress the power of ancient artifacts that keep their influence in check. I see. Its importance to Grosritter is quite clear then. I'd assume there are similar ones in places other than Liberl too. Well, I won't deny it. Anyway, we call this place a primal ground. Now there's a deep name if I've ever heard one. It's the original ground the others are based on in Norteria. I'll take that as a yes. Oh, I'm not confirming anything. I was just thinking about how much you take after the other Professor Russell is all. I'll thank you not to associate me with him. You might trump me a little on the theoretical side of things, but when it comes to the practical side of Orbalsides, I can beat him in my sleep. And I was the one who designed the fundamental systems of the Capel and the Arce, you know. Really? Nice. But I think we're getting off topic here. This is the object in question, right? That's correct. It was pulled up 3 days ago from the area where the Liber Arc sank, and we believe it to be an artifact. Isn't all 3 days prior roughly at the center of Valeria Lake? Where the Liber Arc sank. Anton's just there. Damn, sun going down already, huh? If the spot turns out to be a bust, we're probably gonna have to call it quits for today. We can only hope. Professor Russell's certain that this is the area where we should be looking. Yep. And if she says it's here, it's here. Unfortunately, as you know, Valeria Lake's about as deep as a lake can get. Depending on how small the thing we're looking for is, actually finding it could still be a real task and a half. Is it likely to be small, though? The orbital reading suggested we're dealing with quite a large object, I believe. Oh, I wouldn't judge its size based off of those. Ah, Professor. Hey there, kiddo. Finished getting us a new estimated location. Just about. It'd be real swell if you knocked it off with the kiddo, though. I'm not sure it's the most appropriate way to address a married woman, much less one who's already popped out a child. Sorry, but old habits die hard, you know. Hard to make the switch when I've been calling you that since you were about knee-high. So, well, I'll let you off this time. Back to work. Can you ask your subordinates to stand down for the time being, Colonel? Is this the spot, then? Were you able to calculate exactly where the object is? Give or take an arch, yes. Judging by the readings, what we're trying to pull up isn't all that big either. Probably about 50 range. Maybe even less. You serious? Thought we'd be dealing with a real monster, not something the size of Anton. Yeah? Still, I love how Anton's just always around. Like, what the hell is with this cat? Still, if it does turn out to be an artifact, this could get problematic. Unfortunately, the church isn't going to want to let us keep it, that's for sure. I really cannot stand them. No matter how hard you work to get your hands on something, the second it turns out to be an artifact, they swoop in like it's their goddess-given right to have it. It ticks me off. I miss Tita. Easy there. We don't know for sure that this is even an artifact yet. Regardless, I'll pass on the message to my subordinates right away. I'll leave the rest here to you, Gustav. You got it. Let's see what we're dealing with, yeah? At this point, we're gonna end stream as soon as the cutscene's over. But I think we're actually gonna get into battle. Okay, that's the spot. Go on ahead. Yes, ma'am. Beginning the salvage operation. I'll end stream as soon as I can. but we're like stuck in cutscene hell. Gah! That sound just fills me with dread. Does the salvage crane sound like it's in poor condition to you? Oh, that's not really what I meant. I just can't bring myself to like artifacts, you see. We can't explain how they have the power they do, but they have it, and it's not something we can ignore either. As a researcher, I can barely imagine anything more frustrating. Even when we can't help but be captivated by them, we're well aware that any attempt to solve their mysteries is pointless. I see, when you put it that way, I can understand to a degree how you must feel. Half a year has passed since all the chaos came to an end, and on the surface, we're back to normal. But even now, we still don't know what truly happened here, or what it signified. Yeah. Not that I was here to see it all happen, of course. The crane arms reach the bottom of the lake. I'm gonna attempt to grip the object. Swing and a miss. Moving 30 rage to the right. Ah, there we go. Yep, we've got it. Want me to pull it out? Please do. The moment of truth, huh? We don't know if it's an artifact. Literally the entire island was one giant artifact. Here we go. What? Oh my. I see. Still looking at it. Correct. There were over readings coming from the artifact when we found it, but not anymore. I'm sure I don't need to spell out the significance of that, do I? No, it's plain as day why you decided to stay and wait for me now. If an artifact has lost its power, it's exempt from the traditional agreements governing them and doesn't need to be given to the church. That it? Heh, you already understand me so well. We can cut right to the chase then. The orb readings disappeared just before we handed the artifact over to the cathedral, as it so happens. It's currently being looked after here, but the formal procedures to transfer ownership have yet to be completed, making its legal owner unclear. So in your expert opinion, what should be done here? This is a tricky one. I'm assuming Libero wants to assert ownership of it in this scenario, right? If anything, it's the professor here who wants to do that. I'm merely here accompanying her as a representative of the Royal Army. The only reason it's not lying at the bottom of Valera Lake right now is because of ZCF's salvage efforts. I'd say we have every right to keep it, personally. From what I've heard, it's completely impossible to analyze an artifact that's no longer active. I don't see how it'd be of any use to your research as things stand now. But you're sure you want it that badly? Oh, absolutely. We're talking about an object found at the site of where a massive flying city used to be. I might not have seen it happen, but it sounds like everything we thought we knew about the world was more or less proven wrong. You know, by the truth that you people in the church have kept hidden for the past, oh, I don't know, 1,000 years? As for that Ouroboros group, they don't make much more sense than you guys. The more I hear about their advances in technology, the less I can work out how it's even possible. I don't know what the truth is or what's really happening here in this land, but I can't stand by and feign disinterest in knowing the answers anymore. And I'm far from alone. So long as there's the slightest chance that Artifact could shed light on all of what I want to know, I want it. I think you've made your point, Professor. It's not as though interrogating him will achieve anything. Sure enough. Well, you've heard what I've got to say. It's now up to you to tell us what you're going to do. Will you hand over that lump of metal, or won't you? Well, that brief hesitation was all it took to spawn a great evil. Who's she? No way. It crawled through the fields, ran through the hills, and spread disaster in the skies above. An excerpt from the Book of Ezra, verse 2, Disaster Unleashed. I apologize for the delay in coming, Father Graham. My name is Reese Argent, and I am a squire of the Grosritter. I look forward to working under you. I didn't think we'd end up having more company. Wait a second. Is something the matter? So that's how they think that. So that's how they think they can get me, is it? But they can't just bribe me so easily. I'm better than that. Maybe I underestimated the Grosritter. They think they can break my will to fight by sending a girl like you my way, do they? But I'm not going to down on so easily because I've got a secret weapon of my own. Behold, the most powerful force in the universe. Isn't that... That's Tita, isn't it? How cute. Isn't she? Isn't she? I bet you just want to jump in this phone and squeeze her like a stuffed toy right now, don't you? Should have known a cutie patootie like you would be able to appreciate the same qualities in others. Come, anyway. That's why no matter how freaking adorable you may happen to be, you can't take me down, because I've got a natural immunity. I beg your pardon, but I'm afraid I'm not really following. You keep saying that someone is cute, but are you referring to me? Reese? Yes. Yes, she is. And what else would I be talking about? You got such an aura of maturity about you, and yet your features still have that irresistible trace of innocence to them. And then they throw you into a sister's habit to come lamented all like a little cherry on top. That's the most flattering habit I've ever seen. If I didn't have any, if my protective field, I'd be in real danger here. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm just saying. Might inquire as to the identities of the people with you, Father Graham. Sure. The lady's Professor Erica Russell of ZCF, while the gentleman is Lieutenant Colonel Sid of the Royal Army. Seriously though, Father Graham, really? Ah, so you're the people who initially discovered the artifact then. Thank you for cooperation in our work. We'll take over looking after it from here on out. That will be all. Wait up. What? Hold on a minute. We hadn't finished deciding what to do with it yet. Perhaps not, but my intention was to save you the time and effort required to do so by making the correct judgment myself. Whether it has lost its power or not, that is no ordinary artifact. It is potentially related to one of the Septarians. Surprised that you even humored the option of letting an outsider take custody of it. I mean, well, you sure know how to pick a fight. Go on then. What legal basis do you have for taking it from us? The agreements with the church quite clearly say that artifacts that have lost their power are exempt from their usual rules. I have no legal basis, but you have no more of one for keeping it. If we are following the agreements to the letter, no one is allowed to assert ownership of inactive artifacts. My mouth is so fucking dry. This is why I want to end the stream. It belongs to neither you nor me. It is simply an abandoned object with no owner whatsoever. What? So all you got is, I don't need a reason, it's mine and that's final? To put it bluntly, yes. Let's go, system. Well, if that's how you want to play it. What's your take on this, Kevin Graham? Well, by all means. Me? I thought I'd been kicked out of this conversation. But well, I can't say I don't want to take it back to Arteria with us. But after all the help Liberal's given us, I'd feel kind of bad just snatching it from them without even giving them a valid reason. Both arguments have a degree of merit, but neither is clearly more correct. I'm not quite sure how you'll solve this one. You do know that you're smack dab in the middle of this too, right? Whoa. My. What is it? Why do you both look so surprised? What do you mean, why? Did the two of you not hear that? Hear what? Wait up. Oh. It's active! That's it! Wow. Oh, no way. That thing wasn't giving off any orbital readings at all anymore. Zero zip. Why is it suddenly active again? I believe that settles our dispute. It sure does. It's like, yep. So the real artifact was inside, huh? I've never seen one quite like it. It looks like a box of kind. Or a cube, maybe. Oh. I'd like to thank you two for your cooperation in the recovery of this artifact. In accordance with the pacts of the church, I, Kevin Graham, will be assuming custody of it from here on out. You and all who aided you have the Septian Church's deepest appreciation. Just the generic, the generic thank you statement. I love it. It's like PR, but it comes from Kevin, so it's amazing. Whew! I thought we were never gonna escape. Erica sure doesn't know when to quit. That's a kind way of putting it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing right at the end though. Just as I thought she'd max out her crazy talk to spew, she goes and shouts, well, if you're going to be taking that, then I'll be taking her. I thought Annalise was a one-of-a-kind cuteness freak, but she might actually have some stiff competition. Annalise? Oh, sorry, she's a girl I met while I was here last time. She's a bracer. Or about your age, I think. Oh. Reese? Yes? You're not mad at me, are you? For not keeping in touch with you? Father Graham? Yes? 5 years is a long time. Just as you have changed and progressed in rank significantly during those years, so have I. The Reese Argent standing before you is a squire of the Grosvenor, not the girl you once knew. I'm here to serve and to protect you, nothing more. Come on, Reese. You need not concern yourself with how I feel. If you don't treat me as a subordinate, then there is little reason for me to be here serving you. Fuck. Were we really going there? God damn it. It's Joshua 2.0. That's what this is. Joshua 2.0. And with that talk out of the way, we need to board the last international liner out of Grunzel, don't we? We should start making our way to the landing port. Wait a sec. Was that your... It was a figment of your imagination. Huh? You seem to be tired, Father Graham. I see no other explanation as to why you're hearing sounds that clearly don't exist in reality. I think you ought to try and have some rest when we reach the airship. As I was saying, I think you ought to try and have some rest. Don't even try and tell me that one was my imagination. Man, for a second I thought you changed, but you haven't, not one bit. You're still the same perpetually hungry as I remember. This is just a simple physiological phenomenon. My lack of control is proof that I still have plenty of training ahead of me. I can only apologize for my own inability. Since when did not being able to turn off your stomach become something you have to apologize for? Besides, I wouldn't have you any other way. You're forever going to be the girl who is always getting caught sneaking into the kitchen and trying to stuff her face to me. I'll be going on ahead. Hey, wait a sec. You're my way, please move. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to push my luck. I just got carried away thinking of old times, that's all. You have no reason to apologize, nor do I see any point in you doing so, because there are few things in this world that carry less weight than one of your apologies. Oh my god! Poor Kevin! Damn, finally biting back, huh? Well, I've only got a 50-50 chance of you listening to me. Can you knock it off with the Father Graham, or even Father for that matter? For what reason? I don't know if you're doing it because you feel like you have to, because you want to act all distant, but there's no way I can get used to it, like, ever. It weirds me out. So please, call me Kevin, same as you always did. What if I refuse? Then I'll beg you until you change your mind. I'll get down on my knees if I have to. You certainly would. Well, you know what they say. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I know it's been a while since... But I'm way too set in my ways now. The one left me. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. It was nothing. You're the one who left me. That's what you were saying. Still, I can't very well refuse an order from my superior, so... Oh no, you're not playing that game. It's not an order, it's a favor. Very important distinction. Bleh. You're so selfish, Kevin. Hey! There it is! There we go, that's what I wanted. But just so we're clear, even if I've changed how I address you, the fact that I'm your subordinate hasn't changed in the slightest. Don't forget that. Yeah, I know, we could talk like we used to, but there's no way to turn back the clock to the way things used to be. Oh, and one more thing. We've still got some time until the last airship leaves, so how about we head over to the department store in the East Block. I can grab you something you can eat. I like the sound of that. I propose buying all the bread they have left. I didn't know you were that hungry. Jeez. Please, give us a break, because I need to save my mouth is dying. I thought you were joking when you said you were going to buy everything they had left. The girl behind the counter looked like she thought you were a freak of nature. This is just another example of Adios divine providence. It's better that they're bought by someone who intends to consume them than to have the poor things to be thrown away. Yeah, you're a real bleeding heart, but that much? I hope you're not spending your entire salary on food. I'll have you know that you have nothing to worry about. There are a few people in this world who know how to make better use of sales and special offers than I. So, well, whatever makes you happy. It's not my business how you blow your mirror at the end of the day. Still, while I'll give you that... my getup is right up the top of the suspicious charts. I'm pretty sure anyone would be confused if a woman in Sister's habit came wandering into their shop after dark to buy out the leftovers. Oh, stop your grumbling. And it's almost time for us to leave. We should make our way to the landing port. I'm not sure how much longer my stomach can wait. Yes, ma'am. Is something... the blank stare. Sorry, that stomach of yours is gonna have to wait a little longer. Unforgivable. I don't know who this fiend is, but as long as I don't kill them, I can go as far as I like, right? I sympathize, but you might want to calm down a little. Still, whoever they are, they're not very good at tailing people. Quite. I doubt they have much experience. They do seem to have undergone some degree of training, however. Yeah. Oh well, sad to say, we're going to have to skip today's last airship out of here. Do you know of a good place to strike? Oh, I do. I know the perfect place. Where did they go? I saw them enter this area, I'm sure of it. It was you, huh? What? He's back to normal. How? How did you discover me? My stealth abilities are the height of perfection. You're just like I remember you, still way too sure of yourself. Who might he be? Well, he's technically part of Ouroboros. He's about as low-ranking a member as you can get, though. Ah, I see. He does look the part. How dare you? I'll have you know I'm very much on the up. And as for you, what do you mean he does look the part? You couldn't look more like a nobody if you tried. You're the kind of person who constantly throws himself into things too big to handle and ends up sabotaging himself without anyone lifting a finger. And you refuse to learn from any of your failures, too. What? You haven't lost your touch. I'm impressed how accurately you were able to judge his character after talking to him for like a second. I didn't even need to talk to him. He oozes irrelevance from his every pore. You... cocky, aren't you? Well, let's see how long that cockiness lasts. Bah. Gah! That's a giant-ass sword! A Templar sword? So that's what you picked, huh? Just like you chose a bowgun as your weapon of choice, I chose a Templar sword as for mine. That's all there is to it. Gotcha. Impossible. What did you just do? I don't even know how I got hit. It's a weapon used by the Grol's Ritter called a Templar sword. The blade's made up of multiple pieces held together by wires that let the user extend it at will. Anyways, time those lips started flapping. What's a wanted criminal like you doing here in Gronsol? How much of our business do you know? Why should I answer your... Eek! You don't know when to give up. Start talking now. FYI, she's not in a good mood. And, you don't want to make her any matter. It looks like I've got only one option. I'm so sorry, forgive me. I'm only here because I crash landed. I didn't even want to come here. And after I did, I haven't seen you two, so I decided to follow you, I swear. Maybe I misjudged him. There might be more to him than meets the eye, in a sense. That's a nice way of putting it, so go on, keep talking. You said you crash landed here. That means there's an Ouroboros airship somewhere near here that you came on, right? No, there isn't. I did crash land, but wasn't on board an airship. It was on board this. What the? He has an archaism. Ah, not so relevant now, am I? Show them what you can do. Gee, Apache. Mow them down. Me just completely ignoring Gilbert.
Charge complete. Get up. What the?
I'm surprised it didn't break the ice. Oh, it did. Ah!
Take that!
Oh, I can't. I have to use it on Kevin. Okay.
No way.
Take that!
The problem is that chapter 1 starts now. No. Although we save at the end of prologue and I just kind of dip out. Curse you. Do you have any idea how much I had to go through to earn that? You really are full of surprises, aren't you? I'm impressed, Reese. You sure know how to get the best out of that thing. Not at all. I've still got a lot to learn, especially if I want to be half as good as my sister. Still, I'm no different. Kevin, Anyway. I know you're out of tricks now, so you ready to give up and come quietly? If you don't try and cause any more trouble, I'll hand you over to the soldiers here and leave it at that. You're planning to hand me over to the Royal Army. That's your best option. If you really want us to take you back to Artaria instead, that's cool by me. But if I go with that one, I can't guarantee your safety. I'll leave that one to you. Eek! Ugh. Again? What was that? This thing again? It starts glowing so randomly. Maybe it's reacting to something. What is that thing? What are you planning on doing? Nothing to you, don't worry. Shut up for a sec. What is up with this thing? Ha, so the time to begin is finally upon us. Huh? What? When did you? There's no way. Y'all recognize the haircut, don't you? It's a pleasure to see you again, Kevin Graham. Traverser of the pathless darkness, representing... repenting of his transgressions with the sin of a stigma forever on his back. Hmm? Who the hell are you? Kevin! Thus my lord was revived and the door to Gehenna opened. Come forth, offerings, come forth, lost lambs. Burn the ashes in the ever-blazing flames. That's not scary at all. But that haircut! And the ability to just appear and disappear without anyone sensing him. It reminds us of a certain someone. What happened? Why did I... Where am I? Hey, Reese! Reese, are you okay? Ugh, what's going on? Kevin? Where are we? Oof, I'm glad you're okay. How are you feeling? Any pain? I feel sick. You do? My stomach's going to implode if it doesn't get any food soon. Start on all that food we bought. Ugh, sure, I'd normally be just as down for food as you are, but come on! Is that really what you should be thinking about right now? There's nothing in this world more important or fundamental than eating. But if we must change the subject, I remember a strange man appearing, then that cube glowing white all of a sudden. Then... yeah, I don't remember any more than that either. We'll take a look around us. Yeah, we're in a giant library. Stone bookcases. Are we inside some kind of ruin? No, wait. What? Oh, fuck's sake. The hell are we? Yeah. So much for this being an easy assignment. Yeah. Prologue, the Grosritter, end. save. And that is gonna be it for this stream. I will be back tomorrow morning with well, tomorrow's Sunday, so tomorrow's streams, both of them will be Final Fantasy XIV. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with Final Fantasy XIV. More get everyone to level 71 so that I can run dungeons. And then after that, we will be continuing our Endwalker adventures with Vidya. So I will see you guys then. Bye-bye!